Hey folks, how you doing? This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. How you doing for the 11th of April 2014, excuse me, I'm thinking tomorrow. I don't know why. But anyway, it's the 11th of April 2014. And lots on my mind, as you can tell. Screw up the date. I'm recording a podcast because I'm not going live today because we have the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri talk show tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern. We have a lot to talk about, including the support that people are giving Cliven Bundy down in Bunkerville, Nevada, near Mesquite, about his ranch. There's a lot of things going on down there. It's incredible. It's incredible. The BLM, which does not own any land and is a contracted management organization for the federal government to manage land, is nothing more than a bunch of thugs that are stealing land from people for the benefit of, well, in this case, Senator Majority Leader Harry Reid, who has the potential of making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars on property that is stolen and sold to petroleum companies and private companies and fracking companies. And naturalnews.com has a, Mike Adams over there, the editor, has a chart that shows where all the fracking, where all the oil, where all the minerals are. He knows that place, okay? And he knows people. So, the bottom line is, it's not about cows and it's not about turtles or tortoises or desert tortoises or some kind of little bug that hangs on a plant somewhere out in the desert. Also working in this is the environmental people, the advocates for the environment, the ones that are, well, we've got to, protect the little tortoises that are out there. No, those people are nothing but environmental Nazis. They always have been, they always will be. And it's good to take care of your environment, but not at the expense of, having other bureaucrats come in and steal your land and then sell it off for their purposes. And this is exactly what they're doing. Remember, the BLM and the federal government is nothing more than the mafia. Hey, we got this, you got a store there, you got a business there, how about selling it to us? And the owner says, no, I don't want to sell it. Well, this neighborhood can get a little dangerous, that kind of thing. So it's basically heavy-handed government overreach to take a man's livelihood, to destroy his business, to destroy his cows, to his cattle. He's a cattle rancher, Cliven Bundy. He puts meat on your table, folks. That's what he does. People from Michigan, Florida, Arizona, Seattle, Washington, all over are coming to Bunkerville, Nevada in support of Cliven Bundy. On top of that, this is people who are listening to the independent media, not to the mainstream state-run, media that is full of bull crap and spin and doesn't care about the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. This is what's happening, okay? Lots and lots of things that are happening. I can go into it. It's going to be a short podcast today because we do have the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri talk show tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, and we will be talking about this. If you want to listen to, a great show, and I say great in terms of independent, in-your-face, tell you the truth whether you like it or not type of program, go listen to the Pete Santilli Show on GorillaMediaNetwork.com or GMN.is. I'm going to tell you something right now, and I'm going to be very blunt with you. This is going to be a short podcast. It's probably about a half hour. I just want to tell you that up front. But before I get to what I was about to say, Of course, there's going to be several breaks in here because, of course, I got to get water and, stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just got to do what you got to do, folks. I got to promote people. They wanted me to promote them. I want to promote them. And, so, of course, I'm more than happy to do it. If you want me to promote you, it's absolutely 100% free unless you want to advertise on my on the Free America Radio Network. You can email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com and ask, and we can work something out. And that's okay. Now, speaking of which, little promo here. Be back in about 30 seconds. What is reality? The foundation of reality is based on many concepts. Each person perceives reality differently. In the book, The Grid by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman, they explore the hidden infrastructure of reality. Get your copy today at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. The Grid by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman. Hey folks, welcome back. Welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast, not live. I'll be on the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. And you can catch that show here on Spreaker or at grabbagshow.weebly.com. If you want to sponsor the show, this show, or any other show on Free America Radio Network, go to freeamericaradio.us and donate if you'd like. It's okay. One time is cool. But if you want to sponsor a show, that's fine too. Email me and we'll work something out. So anyway, this thing going on with Cliven and Bundy and the Bundy family and the Bundy Ranch and the federal government and the BLM and the thugs that are contracted with them, and all of that is just coming to a head because thousands and thousands of people are coming to the area in support of this rancher. And the sheriff of Clark County, I'm calling him out. You're a constitutionally elected sheriff. You better do your job, or you better put your badge and your gun on the desk and walk away. Those are the only two options. Either tell the BLM and the federal government to get the hell out of the county, or you can resign. It's the only two options you have. Because you are bought off by special interest and by lobbyists and by the federal government, and so you're not going to do that. You're going to sit there and do everything you can to... You're going to do everything you can for your bosses in the federal government. So why don't you just quit? Because you're worthless. If you're not going to stick up for this man's family and this man's livelihood and the people of your county, you have no reason to be wearing that badge. That is Douglas Gillespie, Clark County Sheriff. Go away. You're worthless. Now, I can go on and on and on about that because it is a violation of our it's a violation of our protected rights that the federal government is coming in and doing this to a man who has grazing rights. Now the BLM wants him to pay them grazing rights, which is a bunch of crap. And therefore, I don't believe he should be paying them. And he said himself, if there are legitimate state fees that he has to pay, he'll do it. But he's not paying them to the federal government. He's got legitimate reasons to be paying fees in the county for the state. That's fine. He'll do that. But he's got certain rights that he has to pay for through the state, through the county. That's fine. He'll do that, not to the federal government. He's not going to pay the BLM. The BLM was created long before, or I should say long after he had all his grazing rights given to him. And then the BLM comes in and says, "Oh, now we're taking over the land, and you have to pay us grazing rights." No, I don't. Here's the paperwork. And a lot of people, and of course, let me tell you, CNN, ABC, all the alphabet soups of the state-run media are going to be out there spinning this because there's protesters out there. And, of course, the state-run media is going to say that there are hundreds of anti-government protesters out here. And that's how they're going to spin it. It's called neural linguistic programming. They understand this. They go through the training. They know how to put this out there. And even though the reporters may not have had the training, their scripts are written to in such a way to where the words are going to get into the general public's mind and create division. Go look it up. Neural linguistic programming. It's go grab your favorite search engine and go look it up. It's as of this week, I have determined within my own self, within the principles that I live by, spiritual and other moral principles that I live by. And I'm not perfect. I don't walk on water. I don't, I make mistakes as well. I'm just like any other human being. But I have decided whatever laws from now on, and any past laws ever since Obama became president, any laws that are coming out of Washington, D.C., I will not comply with. Now, if there's a state law that requires me to do things in a very lawful way, in a very constitutional way, I will do that. If there's a city ordinance that is constitutional, I will abide by that. I don't mind that. When it's coming from the federal government, from Washington, D.C., from the halls of Congress, I will not comply with those laws. And you can call me a rebel. You can call me a nut job. Your names don't affect me at all. Your preconceived ideas about me are totally and absolutely 100% and utterly wrong. They always have been. They always will be. You're either going to stick up for the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and be an American and support people who are constitutional and libertarian and really want freedom and liberty in this nation, or you can pack your crap and go to Russia. No, I'm serious. Just pack your stuff, go to Russia. If you don't want freedom and liberty and peace and security in the United States, because you're anti-American, not un-American. You're anti-American, which literally means the principles of the United States of America, the principles of prior to 1871, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights prior to 1871. You don't want the spirit of the Declaration of Independence. You don't want that. So you're anti-American. And you don't care. Okay? And your words do not affect me at all. Never have, never will, because your preconceived ideas that you've developed in your own delusional cookie-cutter world are your own and are based on absolutely nothing. And I'm talking to the detractors out there who have told me to my face and told me in emails, why are you, spreading fear? Why are you, a conspiracy theorist? You're this, you're that. None of that is happening. How come it's not happening in my area? Just because it's not happening in your area doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because what's happening with Clive and Bundy down there in Bunkerville, Nevada, and it's not happening here in Reno, it doesn't mean it's not happening. Okay? I mean, bottom line. That's just the bottom line. And I will not put up with anybody's ignorance, because if you're sitting there saying, well, the Constitution doesn't say that, blah, 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 if you're going to spin everything that I say to the point of ad nauseum, if you will, or to the point of just being divisive, you're not worth 2 seconds of my time in the same room for any type of rational discussion or debate. This is the way it is. It's just the way it is. And Mama didn't raise no fool, and I was very well educated, and I guarantee you, I'll run circles around you any day of the week. Want to debate me? You better have the information sitting on the table in front of you, because if you don't, you might as well just walk away with your tail between your legs. Photography is an art form, and Adventures in Photography shows you all of the forms of art there is in our world. Spencer Hughes captures the colors and works of natural art in his book, Adventures in Photography. For more information, go to SpencerHughesPhotography.com. Hey folks, I'm back. Yes, I'm here. Now, if I sound confrontational to people, if I sound angry, bitter, pissed off, or whatever, I have a perfectly good right to being bitter and pissed off and angry. Wouldn't you? If somebody got up in your face and told you, so many things in so many different ways that you were wrong, that you had, just whatever it was they wanted to tell you. Yeah, you'd be a little pissed off yourself, wouldn't you? When you know that what you saw, what you know is the truth for you. What is true for you is true for you as you observe it, as you have observed it. You see it, there it is, it's happened. Now, when you try to convey that to someone else and they say you're, a total, absolute nut job, and you try to prove that try to prove what you've said to them and say, well, this is what I saw, this is what I know, they're going to think you're totally out of your mind. But you know what you saw. So you'd be pissed off too if somebody got up in your face and started getting all angry, telling you this and telling you, you'd be angry too. So I'm not so much angry, I'm more frustrated. And that's the proper word here. I'm frustrated that people just can't get this stuff. But I'm not, like I said yesterday on the Views Expressed, I'm not here to twist anybody's arm to try to convince them of anything, because I can't convince anybody who has preconceived ideas. They're not able to think beyond their own cookie-cutter world of delusion, or cookie-cutter world that they've deluded with their own preconceived ideas. Okay? Put that in the right context. But if you want to hear more about what's going on down in southern Nevada and Bunkerville and Mesquite and down around that area, go to Guerrilla Media Network. Go check it all over the place. Go to Infowars.com. Just look it up. Clive Bundy. Hit the search button, and there you go. You'll find a whole bunch of information about it. And I would venture a guess, and I'm only guessing, but I would venture a guess that about 45 to 50% of the information that you get is going to be total, utter crap. And the other is going to be, spin here, spin there, but the only place you're ever going to get the truth, whether you like it or not, is Guerrilla Media Network, and I would go there and listen to the show. I think they're going to have an encore in about 28 minutes, but I don't know. Go to livestream.com, search for The Pete Santilli Show. He's live streaming all day, or live streaming at certain points of the day. There's media out there from CNN to you name it. They're all out there. But they're all going to put a spin on it. They're going to cause you to have a divide in your logic to say, and they're going to say, these are anti-government protesters. They're not. By the way, over 5,000, from what I hear, I don't know what the numbers are specifically, but I hear that 5,000 militia members from all over the United States, or I shouldn't say all over, but from certain parts of the United States, from specifically I've heard from Texas, from Arizona, from Utah, from Colorado, from Florida, from Michigan, from Washington State, they're all coming down to support Mr. Clive Bundy and in what's happening against him. Okay? So, I got one thing to the NSA, listening to this, pass this on to your butt buddies over there in the FBI and in BLM and all those places. You better back off. You better back off now, or you better send in, if you've got the balls to stand up to the American people in such a very tyrannical way, you're going to be sorry by the end of the day. You're not going to have a really good day. The American people will win out in this. At the end of the day, we will walk away and we will know that we won against a tyrannical government. And logically speaking, not to give the government any more credit than what they're being given by their minions of the state-run media. But the only other option that the government truly has is to suspend the Constitution of the United States, implement martial law. That way the UN and their troops that are here on our soil can go in and do what their bosses tell them to do. Yeah, so I got to say this. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will admit to it. But I've looked at this from every aspect, and I'm not wrong in this, folks. I'm not wrong in this. The BLM has contracted outside sources to come in, people of the same vein of like Blackwater XE, to come in and have snipers sitting around. By the way, because that was put out in the independent media, from what I understand, I don't have this verified as of yet, but from what I understand, the snipers are gone. These other people have backed off because they know they're messing with the wrong people when they mess with the American people. But it has to be resolved very peacefully. The only way that is ever going to happen is if, well, number one, the Clark County Sheriff grows a pair of frickin' balls. I almost said the wrong word. If the Clark County Sheriff grows some gonads and grows a pair and gets out there and tells the BLM, get the hell out of my county, or if Governor Brian Sandoval stops yapping his gums and gets down there and tells the BLM and everybody else, get the hell out of my state, what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you right now that the corporatized law enforcement, and I use that term loosely, law enforcement, that work for these quote-unquote law enforcement personnel, these snipers, these contracted, Blackwater XE types that work for the corporations are not going to back down. They're not going to back down. They really don't care about what the governor has to say. They don't care what the county sheriff has to say. They don't care. Retired Sheriff Richard Mack can come in there under law. He can come in there by law and conduct a citizen's arrest. He can conduct citizen's arrest against BLM personnel, including the county sheriff. And if you don't think so, go look it up. And if I'm wrong, please let me know. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Be back right after this. What's that moving in the shadows? Claranormal Talk Radio with your host, Steve Hembry, right here on RadioKahuna.com. Hey folks, I'm back. How you doing? Getting down to told you I was only going to have like a half hour, so I'm getting down to the end of it here. Last segment. Facts are facts, folks. I'm going to tear away the veil and open the curtains and show you who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. I'm going to share with you the truth one fact at a time. And if I ain't got the facts, and if I overlook something, and if you think I'm wrong about something, please let me know. If I find out that I'm wrong, I'll admit to it and tell you about it. That's called responsibility. I mean, that's just what it is. That's part of my moral code. I got to look at this stuff. And if I say something that's wrong, or if I overlook something and only give you half the information, well, that's wrong on my part. So I have to go and really give you everything else. Come to the Views Express live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com and also on freeamericaradio.us. I'm going to be talking more about this. I'm going to be sharing with you some more stuff. Probably the first hour of the show. It's a 2-hour show. In the first hour, I'm probably going to cover a lot of news coming out of Bunkerville, Nevada, and the Bundy family ranch, and how the BLM is being the bullies in this whole situation. And I'll go from there. If you have any questions, no question is off limits. Please ask me anything you like. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. If you want promos played on this show, on the Views Expressed, on any of the shows on Free America Radio Network, please let me know. Promos are free. I'll promote you all day long. But if you want to sell something, that's called advertising, and we're going to have to talk about that. So email me, send all your clips and such to freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Oh, what else, folks? Come listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show today, or tonight, actually, at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, on Spreaker.com and also on grabbagshow.weebly.com, grabbagshow.weebly.com. If you want to sponsor that show, please do. If you want to donate to help that show as well, you can. So you can also email us there at grabbagshow@usa.com. Grabbagshow@usa.com. Just, tell us, just say about the show or whatever in the subject line. So anyway, what else, folks? Holy crap. I don't know, man. I do know I want to finish out the next 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes by saying this. There's a lot of things that people really don't understand. And when you open your mouth, you look like a fool. Me, I got to gather all kinds of information together. I got to look at everything, and then I give my opinion on it. I mean, that's all it is an opinion. But it's a very, very good opinion backed up by some information that I have received. I mean, that's just the way it is. And as far as I can tell with the criticism that I get from saying what I say, people actually don't know what they're talking about. And I'm sorry, but sure, you got free speech, you got some sort of education, and that's fine. But at least get your story straight. If you can't, people just don't know what they're talking about. So I want you all to know that I will do everything I can to get the story straight, to get the truth out one fact at a time, and I will always tear away the veil, tear away the curtain to show you who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. Because you guys need to know that, this information. You guys need to know that they've got you by the short hairs and they're controlling everything about you. They don't control me because I don't let's put it this way. They can kiss my ass. And as far as I'm concerned, the government can kiss my ass. The state, you either follow the Constitution prior to 1871 or you don't have my support, period. End of sentence. Okay? Talk to you later. Come join me on the Views Express Live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com or freeamericaradio.us.